'Tis the season for giving. I'll visit a discount store, outdoor store, and sporting goods store for last minute ideas for the camper in your life. Like this stowaway backpack on sale at Eddie Bauer for just $20. All on this week's camping gear with the Yankee Santa Christmas gifts.
I'm here early in the morning at Walmart, and we're just going to take a look at some of the things that you could get maybe under your Christmas tree. They have quite a number of tents here, and I'm just going to point out the one that I would recommend if you were just getting started. This is a 3-person dome tent. It's Ozark Trail. This is a 4-person dome tent. I think it would work well if you're just trying to get out for the weekend, but at that price, it's probably not going to last very long. A sleeping bag isn't essential equipment in the summertime, but it's nice to have in the spring and the fall, and you definitely need it in the winter. Be sure to look at the degree rating. This one's rated at 35 degrees.
And this one claims to keep you warm all the way down to 20 degrees.
This is hard to beat to get started with cooking. This one's stainless steel, and it is priced at just under $13. And one of the things you might want to consider is a little backpacking stove or a different stove, which I'll show you in just a moment. This is a traditional propane stove, single burner, and it just uses a regular 1-pound propane cylinder. And for something a little more traditional, here's a butane stove, which is flat, and you'll see that I use one just like this in my camping.
One of the things I appreciate about Walmart is they have quite a selection of camping knives, including the 119 by Buck, as well as the Buck 110.
And Walmart's travel section is a great place where you can find small items to be able to stick in your pack and have at the campsite. Many of these make great stocking stuffers.
I think another great stocking stuffer is the canned meats over in the grocery section. These you can use when prepping for making a mess meals out at your campsite.
Of course, one of the things that you ought to consider is that you don't get the expertise and be able to ask the questions if you come to Walmart. But they have lots of equipment at a really reasonable price, and it'll get you started. And if you do have questions, you can always ask me in the comments section.
I know that Santa's real. I've seen the Miracle on 34th Street. Both of them. The old one's better. But did you know that the first department store Santa was right here in New England? That's right, in Brockton, Massachusetts. James Edgar was born in Scotland, but came to the Boston area looking for work. In 1878, he opened a dry goods store in bustling Brockton, Mass., 35 miles south of the hub, even before that became a small city. A bit of a showman, Edgar would dress up as a clown, a sportsman, in a cricket uniform, of course, and even George Washington to entertain children that came to his store or the events. He was even known to toss pennies from atop the business to the adoring children below. I love the children, he once stated, and they love me. In the winter of 1890, the consummate entertainer decided to truly make Christmas wonderment come to reality by dressing as the jolly old elf from the North Pole. Upon encountering him in the store, children were swept away in a magical moment that some recalled into their 90s. These days, a visit with St. Nick is somewhat commonplace for young people, but before the 20th century, it was all but unheard of, except as window dressing at prestigious locations such as Macy's in New York. Young people, and those young at heart, now can have their own personal encounter with Santa Claus thanks to the owner of a simple dry goods store who had a love for children and a desire to make them happy. Now, you know. Oh, look at the time. It's almost Christmas Day. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's have combined. I like going here because they have quite the variety, and their attitude is one towards outdoorsmen. The interior is reminiscent of an old hunting or camping lodge, and it's got a giant fish tank for those who are interested in getting outdoors and fishing. But our visit here is to focus on Christmas presents. A reasonable place to start would be somewhere to sit, and Bass Pro Shops has a camp chair for under $10.
You never know what can happen when you're out camping. So to be prepared, they've got a backpacker's first aid kit for under $25. That makes a great Christmas gift. Here's something you wouldn't mind finding under the Christmas tree, a brand new tent.
This price is comparable to the one we saw earlier at Walmart.
For just under $30 here at the Cabela's and Bass Pro Shop, you can get a stainless steel mess kit. This one here is by GSI, and that would be a very nice Christmas present. And here's one of the things I really like about Bass Pro Shops. They carry the Sterno folding stove. This is a great thing to have in your car. Just throw in a Sterno, carry one of these, and you're always prepared. Plus, in the event of an emergency, you can use it in the house. If you're looking for a stocking stuffer, one of the things you might want to consider is insect repellent. This is necessary all through the summer months to keep you from getting eaten by the insects. Another stocking stuffer that you might want to consider is a headlamp for your visor. This is under $13.
Paracord makes a great stocking stuffer, and the ones here are under $6.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the campground the woodland creatures had settled, they made not a sound. The campfire was doused and the chairs put away. Morning coffee was prepped, so there'd be no delay. It's bedtime at last, I announced with a grin, then crawled into my sleeping bag and pulled it up to my chin. The pillows were comfy as I lay there in bed, and dreams of toasted marshmallows danced in my head. When outside the tent there arose such a clatter, I climbed from my bed to see what was the matter. I pulled on my sweatshirt, then, with flashlight in hand, I unzipped the window and attempted to stand. The moon in the sky was bright, all aglow, giving the luster of midday to the campsite below. When what to my tired old eyes should appear but a jolly old elf riding in a John Deere. The little old driver was sure without pause. I couldn't believe it. I thought, Santa Claus! The gator was green with accents of red, and I knew right off quick I had nothing to dread. A trailer it pulled full of camping supplies that was piled so high I dared not trust my eyes. Into my campsite it quietly slid, then the driver jumped out, and here's what he did. He first checked the fire pit, making sure it was out, then he went to the trailer and started digging about. His duck boots were pristine, his coat checkered red, and a trapper hat with air flaps he wore on his head. He had a little round belly and a face that was kind. The winter's chill breezes he seemed not to mind. His eyes twinkled with wisdom. There was no trace of woe. And the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. He went straight to his business, made not a sound, and pulled out bundled firewood, which he set on the ground. He next found a new mess kit and put it beside, then gave a slight chuckle and returned to his ride. Like owls flight the motor whispered, the lights he kept out, but he maneuvered the darkness without any doubt. Then I heard him proclaim, as he drove out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and campers have a good night."
The third place I visited was Dick's Sporting Goods store to see what they had for camping supplies. They, by far, had the smallest amount of camping equipment available, comprised of just one aisle and a back shelf. And the back shelf was not particularly well organized. However, that's understandable given that this is not camping season in New England.
Lighting is always important. This Nebo is designed in Texas. It works as a lantern and a flashlight. This is under $25. You can't put a price on preparedness. This first aid kit with 109 pieces is under $17. It makes a great Christmas gift. So as you know, I like camp stoves. This is a GSI camp stove for backpacking. This is under $30. This makes a great Christmas present.
Getting a good night's rest is really important, and you can use an air mattress if you're just getting started. This works out really well for either a twin or a queen size at a very reasonable price. And a low-end summer sleeping bag was available for under $30.
Looking for a stocking stuffer? How about a map compass? This is under $8, and it's one of those things that'll fit into any stocking. Here's another stocking stuffer, an emergency whistle. This one's bright orange, under $4 here at Dick's Sporting Goods.
All of these items were in stock in the stores a week before Christmas. I hope you've enjoyed this episode with the Yankee Santa, and have yourself a merry little Christmas. If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to give it a thumbs up. It just lets YouTube know that you enjoy what I'm putting out. And if you haven't subscribed already, now would be a great time to do so. If you have any thoughts or have anything you'd like to share, please leave a comment in the section below. In the meantime, get outside, and thank you for watching.